Alright, welcome to the Handsteel video. So for this one, PPE, hard hat, safety glasses, sleeves rolled down, long pants, steel caps, and gloves. This is very important. On your hammering hand, you can wear whatever glove you want. On the hand that's holding the steel, you must wear an impact glove. These will be provided on the day, so don't worry about that, but make sure you're wearing one. It'll help protect your hand as well. In terms of equipment, you've got your hammers. So for males, you have to use the 4-pound hammers. For females, you can choose to use the 3 or the 4-pound hammer. That's up to you. Your steels, you have your short collaring steel and 2 longer steels for hammering out the hole. You can use plugs if you want. So we just use gloves and they're just to shove in a hole after you've finished it. If you're moving on to another hole, helps stop a lot of the aggregate and dust from getting flushed back into the hole while you're working on the other one. You'll also have the water bucket. Now this is majorly important. It helps with dust suppression, rock fragment suppression, as well as flushing the dust from the hole as you're drilling away. Alright, let's go through the event and how it's run. So each person will have 2 minutes drilling time, and then at the end you'll have 1 minute flushing time. So that makes 10 minutes drilling, 1 minute flushing. In your 2 minutes, you just need to basically hit the steel as hard as you can and keep rotating it to create a circular hole, drilling as deep as you can. The total length of all the holes drilled within your square will be the final score that you get. The team with the most depth drilled is the team that wins. Now that depth will be measured from the top of the concrete block to the bottom of the hole and will be taken to the nearest millimetre.
Apologies, a helicopter flew over at the end there. So your squares are 10 by 10 centimetres. This is a photo of what they'll look kind of like on comp day.
Right, for penalties, I'll need my phone for this one because there's quite a few to go through. So firstly, steel not held when struck. So if you hit the steel with the hammer and your hand is not firmly holding that steel in place, that'll be up to the judge's discretion. You'll get 1 warning. If that same competitor strikes the steel without holding it a second time, they immediately forfeit the remainder of their time. So that's valuable for your team to not miss out on. Second penalty, striking the side of the steel with a hammer. That'll be, again, a forfeit for that competitor. They must immediately stop hammering. So the situation in which this would happen is if your steel gets bogged. You've stuck it into the hole too much, you've not turned it enough, your hole's not straight, it happens, the steel gets bogged. It can be very natural instinct to strike the side of the steel using the hammer. Don't, because you'll get disqualified. You may only ever strike the top of the steel, that's just to stop it from snapping off in the hole potentially. Third penalty, PPE falls off a competitor and they continue participation. Self-explanatory, same as saw, same as rail, same as muck. And that'll be disqualification of that competitor. Fourth penalty, steel stuck in hole after flushing completed. So if you've got a bogged steel, you don't manage to get it out in the entire time that you've been hammering away, you don't manage to get it out in your 1 minute of flushing time, that hole will not be counted towards your total distance. So be wary of that one. Then the final penalty, if over half of the hole is collared outside of the square, it will not be counted towards your drilled length. Also, if one of your holes deviates and drills into another hole, both those holes are disqualified. So be very, very careful with that one.
All right, so here I just wanted to highlight the changeover at the end of your time. So it's relay style, the clock doesn't pause at the end of your 2 minutes, it keeps going for the whole 10 minutes. So here I'm yelling to Dion to leave the hammer, leave the steel. So make sure you've got good communications with your teammates. There will be more than one hammer available on the day. We all preferred using this hammer. So yeah, make sure you're communicating well with your teammates. Pos comms, works here, works in the mines. Right, so here I've intentionally jammed the steel just so I can illustrate how to get it out. It's super easy. There you go, that's it. You just got to shake it back and forth as hard as you can and get it unstuck as quick as possible. Don't keep hitting it. You'll only knock it further into the jam. Don't hit the side. because you'll be disqualified. Yeah, dead easy. So in this clip here, I'm just trying to demonstrate starting a new hole. So when you're running your water, you definitely wouldn't do it the way I am. You'd have a teammate managing that with a finger over it, reducing the flow rate. This is just because I was at the training grounds by myself. So when you're collaring, you find your position and you need to hold that steel as steady as possible. Keep rotating it. Small taps when you get started, because you need to get it in before you can start really giving it big hits. As soon as you've got that first little bit of depth, you can start really taking good hits with the hammer. But yeah, starting out nice and slow, rotating that steel as much as possible, small taps, and that's pretty much collaring. So here you see me stop hammering and I start picking fragments of rock out of the hole. This is something that whoever's holding or managing your water would normally be in charge of. You can hold the hose further back and sort of use the end of it to flick rocks out of the way if you need to, but the water stream generally tends to manage it pretty well. Yeah, I just stopped because it was constantly jamming my steel in place. So ideally you shouldn't have to do that in competition. Alright, so first thing to notice in this clip, as I'm hitting, between each hit, I'm rotating the steel. You have to do this the whole time. It's the only way you'll get that hole circular as possible, reduce your chances of jamming it. I eventually get to a point where I'm unhappy with how often it's getting jammed, so I choose to finish the hole here. Now, when you finish a hole, I'd recommend you plug it. So I've taken this glove, twisted it up, and you just chuck it straight in the hole. It just reduces a lot of the flow of dust and rock fragments into the hole if you're hammering another hole out. So we've got one last thing to talk about, and that's flushing. So here you see Matt trying his best to break up any fragments left at the bottom of those holes, try and get any extra depth he can, and using water as best you can to flush those holes out as he goes. We've only got the small water bucket, unfortunately. We don't have a full hose set up. So water management will be important. You really want to make sure you've got stuff left over for this time. Make sure if you've moved to another hole that the previous holes are properly flushed out. Yeah. So Handsteel wasn't an event run in Brisbane last year. So I think this is from the 2022 Internationals in Kalgoorlie. Don't take these results as gospel. Every concrete block is different. It depends on the aggregate used. So the distances and depths are really hard to judge for these things. We haven't used the concrete we're going to be using for comp, so we're really not sure how soft it will be. So yeah, take these values with a really large grain of salt. Yeah, I think that's it for the Handsteel video. So good luck. Hopefully it all goes well on comp day, and just remember to play it safe. We all want to be getting out of there fully intact. So if you haven't done Handsteel before, if you're not comfortable with it, start slow, start easy, and work your way up. Don't work your way down from an injured hand.